In the midst of adult life, where the weight of responsibilities, careers, families, and personal ambitions often presses heavily, many men confront a silent adversary: loneliness. This isn't the dramatic solitude of a desert island, but a more insidious form, characterized by a lack of deep, meaningful connections. Friends from younger years drift away, replaced by casual acquaintances or digital interactions that feel hollow. The result is an emotional void that can lead to increased stress, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection from the world. For adult men in particular, societal norms that emphasize self-reliance and emotional stoicism can exacerbate this issue, making it difficult to admit vulnerability or seek out new bonds. Yet this struggle is not unique or insurmountable. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has endured for centuries, offers a compassionate and practical framework for addressing it. Drawing from Epictetus's teachings on self-sufficiency and virtue-based relationships, Stoicism helps us understand how loneliness often stems from superficial connections and provides strategies to cultivate true friends who share our values. This approach validates loneliness as a common human experience, while empowering men to rebuild their social circles through discernment, reducing isolation without demanding extroversion or inauthenticity. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's most profound voices, was born into circumstances that could have bred eternal loneliness. Enslaved in Rome during the 1st century AD, he suffered physical abuse that left him lame for life. Despite this, he became a teacher whose words have echoed through time, emphasizing that true freedom and contentment come from within. In his discourses, Epictetus argues that self-sufficiency is the foundation of all healthy relationships. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well, he teaches. For men in adulthood, this means first cultivating a sense of completeness in one's own company. Loneliness, Epictetus suggests, arises when we rely on others to fill internal gaps, superficial connections based on shared interests or convenience, rather than shared virtues. These ties are fragile, easily broken by life's changes, leaving us feeling more isolated. Epictetus urges us to seek true friends who embody virtues like justice, courage, and wisdom, friends who help us live better lives. This discernment is key. It's not about amassing a large social network, but about selecting a few relationships that enhance our character. In this way, Stoicism provides solace by reminding us that loneliness is not a personal defect, but a signal to prioritize quality over quantity. To understand how loneliness stems from superficial connections, consider the trajectory of adult life. In youth, friendships form naturally through school, sports, or shared adventures, often based on proximity and fun. As men enter their 30s and beyond, these bonds thin out. Relocations for jobs, the demands of parenthood, or diverging life paths erode them. What remains are superficial interactions, office chit-chat, social media likes, or occasional meetups that lack depth. Epictetus would see this as a failure to distinguish between what is essential and what is extraneous. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them, he notes. Superficial connections disturb us because we invest in them emotionally, expecting fulfillment they can't provide. They offer temporary distraction from loneliness, but no lasting support, leading to a cycle of disappointment. For men, cultural expectations to tough it out compound this, discouraging the vulnerability needed for deeper bonds. Stoicism breaks the cycle by teaching discernment. Evaluate relationships by how they promote virtue. Do they encourage honesty and growth, or do they reinforce bad habits? This validation of loneliness as a common struggle, even Epictetus in exile faced it, offers comfort, reminding men that it's okay to feel this way, and it's a catalyst for change. Cultivating true friends who share values is the heart of Epictetus's strategy. He defines a true friend as one who aids your moral development, not one who merely amuses or benefits you materially. A friend is another self, he says, meaning they reflect and reinforce your best qualities. In adulthood, this means seeking companions who align with your principles. perhaps through shared interests like reading, fitness, or community service that reveal character. Epictetus advises testing potential friends. Observe how they handle adversity or temptation. Do they choose integrity over convenience? This process is slow and deliberate, perfect for men who prefer not to force extroversion. Start by identifying your core values: resilience, kindness, intellectual curiosity, and look for people who embody them. For example, join a local philosophy discussion group or a volunteer organization where conversations naturally turn to life's deeper questions. Epictetus's self-sufficiency ensures you don't approach these with desperation. You're complete alone, so friendships are enhancements, not necessities. This reduces the pressure, allowing bonds to form organically, without the exhaustion of networking events or small talk. Marcus Aurelius adds depth to this with his reflections on human interdependence. As emperor, he experienced profound isolation, yet in Meditations he writes, "We were born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of upper and lower teeth. To work in opposition to one another is therefore contrary to nature." Marcus encourages seeing loneliness as a misperception, a failure to recognize shared humanity. He advises self-examination to overcome barriers. Examine men's ruling principles, even those of the wise, what kind of things they avoid, and what kind they pursue. For men, this means reflecting on internalized beliefs that hinder friendships, like real men don't need to talk about feelings. By journaling daily, noting one positive interaction and how it aligned with virtue, you can shift toward authenticity. Marcus's approach provides solace by showing that even leaders felt lonely, but they found purpose in contributing to others, turning isolation into motivation for connection. Seneca, the Stoic statesman, emphasizes the rarity and value of true friendships. In his Letters from a Stoic, he counsels, "Ponder for a long time whether you shall admit a given person to your friendship. But when you have decided to admit him, welcome him with all your heart and soul." This deliberate pace suits introverted men who may find large social scenes overwhelming. Seneca warns against quantity. The many do not make a friend. Instead, focus on one or two relationships that foster virtue. For adult men, this means auditing your social circle, perhaps letting go of draining acquaintances to invest in those who inspire growth. Seneca's philosophy offers help by acknowledging that loneliness often results from poor choices, empowering you to select companions who support your best self without demanding constant presence. To implement these strategies, begin with self-assessment, a cornerstone of Stoic practice that helps you build from a place of inner strength, especially if you have few friends and are navigating connections later in life. Epictetus recommends a mental review. What am I lacking in attaining freedom from passion? Adapt this to friendships by dedicating 10 to 15 minutes each evening to journaling 3 qualities you value in others, such as integrity, loyalty, or wisdom, and how you currently embody them in your own life. This exercise fosters self-sufficiency, reminding you that authentic friendships start with being the kind of person you'd want as a friend. For example, if you value integrity, reflect on a recent moment where you were honest in a small way, like admitting a mistake at work. If you're in your 40s or 50s with a sparse social circle, perhaps due to career focus or past relocations, this self-assessment provides solace by validating your loneliness as a temporary state, not a personal flaw. It empowers you to attract like-minded men by first cultivating those virtues yourself, reducing the intimidation of reaching out. Over time, review your journal entries to track growth, turning isolation into a period of preparation, much like Epictetus turned his enslavement into philosophical mastery. Next, seek virtue-aligned environments, but with a tailored approach for those rebuilding from scratch. Epictetus's discernment means choosing spaces where shared values naturally emerge, avoiding overwhelming social scenes that might feel forced for introverted or busy men. If you have few friends, start by identifying low-commitment activities that resonate with your interests and virtues. Philosophy meetups, book clubs on self-improvement, or volunteer groups focused on community service like mentoring youth or habitat restoration. Attend once a month initially, focusing on listening rather than leading conversations. As Seneca suggests, we should hunt out not only those who teach us, but those who talk with us. For men later in life, consider age-appropriate groups like men's discussion circles at local libraries, hiking clubs for over 40, or online Stoic forums where you can observe first. This low-pressure method allows friendships to develop organically. For instance, during a hike, a casual comment on resilience in nature could spark a conversation with another man facing similar life stages. If starting from zero feels daunting, begin virtually. Join a Reddit community like r/Stoicism or a Facebook group for adult male book enthusiasts to practice engagement without face-to-face anxiety. This reduces isolation by placing you among potential true friends who share virtues like perseverance, helping you form bonds without forcing extroversion. Initiate honest conversations thoughtfully, especially if your social skills feel rusty from years of limited interactions. Epictetus emphasizes truth as the foundation of virtue. Start with a value-based question that invites depth without overexposure, like, what's a challenge you've overcome lately that changed your perspective? This invites compatibility and reveals shared values, ideal for men seeking connections later in life who may fear rejection. If you have few friends, practice this in safe, low-stakes settings, perhaps with a coworker over lunch or an acquaintance from a hobby group. For example, at a philosophy meetup, follow up a discussion on Epictetus with, "How has self-sufficiency helped you in tough times?" This invites meaningful exchange. If they engage, nurture the bond with follow-up like a coffee invite. If not, release without resentment, as Stoicism teaches acceptance of what you can't control. This approach provides solace by framing loneliness as an opportunity to select quality connections, reducing the pressure of networking and allowing gradual trust building, which is crucial for men who've experienced friendship losses through divorce or relocation. Use negative visualization for motivation, a Stoic technique particularly helpful for those with sparse social networks. Epictetus taught envisioning loss to appreciate what you have. Spend 5 minutes daily imagining a life of complete isolation, then counter it by taking one small step toward connection, like messaging an old colleague with, "I've been thinking about our shared interest in history. How have you been?" This combats inertia, providing solace by showing that change is possible even later in life. For men in their 50s or beyond, visualize the regret of not reaching out, then act, join a local men's group, or reconnect via LinkedIn. This builds resilience, turning fear into action without overwhelming you. Set boundaries to protect your energy, essential if past experiences have made you wary of new connections. Epictetus says not to force relationships. If a connection feels superficial or draining, limit it politely, like, "I'm focusing on personal projects right now, but let's catch up in a month." This prevents burnout, allowing introverted men to engage on their terms, fostering sustainable bonds. For those with few friends, this means prioritizing quality, decline invitations that don't align with values, freeing time for meaningful ones. Volunteer or mentor to forge bonds through purpose, a Stoic virtue of justice that creates connections naturally. Epictetus said, "What ought one to say then as each hardship comes?" I was practicing for this. Apply to loneliness. Volunteer weekly at a cause like coaching youth sports or community cleanups, attracting like-minded men without social pressure. Later in life, mentor younger professionals via alumni networks, sharing wisdom to build reciprocity. This provides solace by turning isolation into contribution, often leading to friendships with shared values. Read and discuss Stoic texts to connect intellectually. Epictetus's Enchiridion is a guide to self-sufficiency. Share passages in a small group or online forum like Stoic Discord channels. This suits introverts, building friendships through ideas. Discuss how Epictetus's control dichotomy applies to loneliness, inviting vulnerability gradually. For men later in life, this low-effort entry point reduces barriers like fear of rejection, fostering bonds over time. Practice gratitude for existing ties, even if sparse. Seneca advised daily thanks. List 3 positive qualities in an acquaintance or family member, then express it subtly. I appreciate your perspective on that issue. This strengthens bonds without effort, providing solace by highlighting potential in your current circle, motivating outreach. Embrace alone time as preparation, turning loneliness into strength. Epictetus viewed solitude as training. Use it for hobbies that attract friends, reading Stoic books, exercising in groups, or learning a skill like woodworking via classes. This self-sufficiency reduces desperation, making you more approachable. Later in life, this means viewing isolation as a season for growth, preparing you for authentic connections. Seek feedback from a trusted source if available, or a professional. Seneca's letters were dialogues. Ask a mentor or therapist, what patterns do I have that hinder friendships? This self-examination identifies barriers like fear of rejection, offering guided growth. For men with few friends, start with anonymous online forums, building confidence for real-life steps. In conclusion, Stoic strategies provide a gentle, empowering path to authentic friendships. By embracing Epictetus's self-sufficiency and virtue-based approach, you validate loneliness as a common struggle, then rebuild connections that respect your nature. This philosophy turns isolation into strength, fostering a life of genuine bonds and inner peace.